Peace, what up, what up? Let the games begin. Doing this quick presentation because a lot of false information being spread about health in the health community. Lifelong vegan, two-time author. Been teaching on health about probably 12 years now. So yeah, meat versus tofu. Which one is worse for your body? Protein. Both of these foods, meat and tofu, are a main source of protein for vegans with the tofu, and then meat for 99% of the human population today. So you got some people saying that tofu is worse than meat. But we're gonna break down meat one by one. Some the main ones, we're gonna start with chicken. Chicken is the most popular meat in the world right now. And if you got my book, you see that the chickens, they are being genetically engineered. They're about twice the size as they were in the 50s, maybe even 3 times as much. So that's growth hormones there doing that goes in your body. That's why the females develop early puberty. That's why men are getting man boobs. All of this chicken. And another thing, 80% of chicken has arsenic. Arsenic is a cancer-causing substance. So this is what you're getting when you're getting most chicken. And let's not forget that if you eating chicken, chickens eat soy and corn as their main in the chicken feed. So you're not escaping the soy by eating chicken, and 99% of soy and corn are GMO, genetically modified. If you saw the video I did about genetically modified organisms, you can go back to that, or I have a good section about that in my book. So chicken, and you're also getting antibiotics because they put these chicken on top of each other. They crapping on top of each other, urinating, bunch of disease. These are diseased animals, so they have to give them antibiotics so that they make it through the whole process of being killed and able to be chopped up and become your food. So this is what you're getting when you're getting chicken. You're getting growth hormones, antibiotics, soybeans, arsenic, and let's not forget about chicken. A lot, chicken. Some people eat chicken 2-3 times a day, and a high amount of chicken, an animal protein itself, is linked to cancer, and it also weighs on your kidneys. Also can cause uric acid buildup. That's one of the main problems with meat, is the uric acid. Your toes start swelling up. Your legs start hurting. And that comes from a lot of chicken. They say that's black people's favorite food. Some people get shocked when I tell them I don't eat chicken. So we're gonna go on to beef. They're saying, I've read some stuff that says eating beef is close to eating human flesh. So you're kind of close to a cannibal by eating cows. And you got the milk that comes from the cows. It really has a bunch of pus in there, blood. It's not, cow milk is not supposed to be drinking by humans. And then you got the mad cow disease that can get it, and then you have the the steak with the worms coming out of it. So it's just, and it's craziness. And then you have the iron, eating too much animal flesh. Eating too much beef can put too much iron in your blood. Compared to as plant-based iron, it'll be good for your body, and it won't be overloaded with iron like if you're eating this beef. And so another thing that's not good to eat all these hamburgers. It's actually linked to heart disease. That's why America is one of the heart disease capitals on the world right now, because of the high consumption of beef. We got to put this meat down to save the planet. And then we're going to go to pork now. Pork has some worms in there that you could heat up into 1,000 degrees and it'll still be right there. You can put a piece of pork up outside, come back and check it out, and you're gonna see worm outside. Put a piece of pork outside, come back, check it out, and you're gonna see some worms right there popping out. So these worms are going in your body. People overridden with parasites. Anybody that's eating meat that doesn't detox daily has an overload of parasites. It's craziness. That's one of the main things with the pork, and they eat anything. Pigs are like the trash can of the land. They eat anything. They have no sweat glands, so you just have waste on top of waste, and that's what you're eating. Another thing, when you're eating this pork and red meat, you have the carbon dioxide, and then with the cow, you have the methane. So you're eating a waste product, because plants create oxygen, which we humans need to survive. The word spirit means breath, and what we breathe in is oxygen. So basically, when you're eating these plants, you're actually connecting to the source, and we let out oxygen, and then the plants take that oxygen in and create carbon dioxide. So it's a chain. So when you're eating all of this meat, you're actually taking in a waste product. On top of it, this is why you go to any hospital right now, everybody you speak to who has diabetes, who has high blood pressure, who has cancer, who has arthritis, they eat meat. The hospitals are not filled with meat eaters. I don't want this information to sound biased, but it's all fact checked out. And we're going to go down to tofu and soybeans. As I said earlier, 99% of soybeans are genetically modified according to the USDA. It gets sprayed with something called Roundup. Roundup is to make sure that the soybeans can grow all through the year, because soy is a very high commodity in this country, being that it's used in animal feed. As I said earlier, it's a cheap protein that a lot of companies throw into their product, to stretch it out. It's also popular for vegans and vegetarians. Some of the main problems with soybeans is that it can stop your body from being able to absorb certain minerals like zinc, especially. That's one of the main issues. And another thing is that it can offset your hormonal balance. Too much estrogen, because soybeans is a bean like red beans, kidney beans. All of these promote a certain amount of estrogen in your body. But the thing about it is that vegans and vegetarians, they go overboard with this soy. They have soy ice cream, they have soy milk, soy burgers, soy chicken, soy beef. So you're eating this all day, and it's also mucus forming. You're setting your hormones off balance. So that's the main thing. If you're gonna eat soy, they have tempeh, soy sauce, and you can actually have the actual beans that's not processed. Another problem is the soybean, like tofu. They have to put the tofu at a high temperature, so your body doesn't really recognize this processed food. So it's best to eat it in its natural form, so it can absorb. Your body doesn't recognize soy beefsteak, or soy gumbo chicken. They got so much crazy stuff. I done had all this stuff. I've been a vegan my whole life, so when we didn't have this type of knowledge, we ate that stuff. Soy can mess with a man's sex drive. A lot of the monks in Asia, who want to abstain from sex and sexual thoughts, they eat a high soy-based diet to, keep this energy down. So if you're a man and you intentionally, you don't want to do that, you need to stay away from all that soy. But it's in all the meat too. This is why people are wrecked. The meat eaters especially wrecked because, they got the soy, they have the antibiotics, they have the growth hormones, and then on the beef they got the dye in the beef that's makes it look more attractive. You have cancerous tumors on a lot of these meats. They just cut it off and it's a bunch of craziness, man. It's craziness going on. A lot of people don't know, don't care to know, couldn't even stop if they found out. So I just put this message out. Not a biased message one bit, it's all out of love. But if you had to choose one, what's better for your body? Also, soy is very close to plastic. They use soy and corn to make certain types of plastic. I eat soy maybe once in a while. My parents still make it from time to time, or if I'm out at a restaurant, I eat it from time to time. But it's not a big part of my diet. This is not good. It's hard to digest because, as I said, it's close to. They can make rubbers from it, so your body doesn't absorb, and it actually blocks certain mineral absorption. So your best bet is to stay away from both. Unless you're gonna get some, soy, the actual beans would be your best bet to if you really want to deal with it from a health perspective. Because the meat is brutal, man. You can watch some of these documentaries. You see how they treat these animals. That's part of it. You are what you eat. Put some of that in my book. So that's it for the presentation. Thanks for watching. Always remember, check out my website, riseofhealthconsciousness.com. Share this video. Donate to my movement, man, because we got some projects, I want to get going, man, especially with this health from our community, especially. Thanks for watching. Peace.